Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Siamiss and today we'll be talking about the new race monster. Yes, you heard me right, there is a race right around the corner. The name of the race is the Freak Show Marathon. I'm sure most of you already know, and the star of the maze is Siamiss. Now Siamiss design, to be very honest, I find it horrible in my opinion, and the skin is really not good as well. But right now I'm not here to talk about designs, but right now I'm here to talk about the skills, the traits, and how this monster is in the current meta. So first of all, let's just start with the stats. For stats at level 100, she has a life of 57,908. Now the life isn't too great. I think she is more on the squishy side. As for the power, her power is 5,280. The power stat isn't that good, but for a denier I think it's pretty okay. The speed of this monster is 4862. Now this is the base speed, and that is a pretty phenomenal base speed, and I think that she'll be a main denier in a lot of the teams if you're able to get her. And coupled with a few powerful single speed runes, this monster will be a phenomenal denier in my opinion. Then moving on to the trait. Now trait is evolving trait as usual. So for rank 0, she has immunity to blind. Now this trait has coverage for normal blind and obviously the entire total blind. That is 100% reduction in accuracy and a 50% reduction in accuracy, so she is saved from one kind of denial, sort of. The blind isn't used that much in my opinion. The only mythic monster that I can think of that can blind right now is Alien, and I'm sure there are others as I'm not very well versed in the mythic area just yet, but I think that right now the only mythic monster that can blind is Alien, right? Then at rank 1 she has the Abomination trait, and Abomination trait protects her from possession, corruption, and bleeding as well, so that is a pretty phenomenal trait to have for a denier. So she is immune to 2 types of denial, that is blinding and obviously possession, corruption, whatever you want to call it. And I find it really amazing, since this monster can't be possessed. You won't be in the constant fear of activating your own cooldowns, etc., possessing yourself. And then at rank 3 she gains self precision. I think she has a phenomenal trait, to be very honest, although it is lacking on some areas, but no trait is that perfect except area dodge in my opinion, but whatever. But this monster really has a phenomenal trait, and I, considering that this monster is a race monster and most of the people will be able to get her at rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and even rank 4, I really think that this monster has the ability to shine in a lot of different areas. And as for the relics, she has 2 mask relics. Now mask isn't the go-to relic for deniers, and I won't really appreciate masks on a denier, but there are a lot of good masks out there, so you can choose from the exhausting mask, the healing mask, but those aren't that good in my opinion. There are a lot of other relics that could have been applied to this monster, for example staff, but that is okay. And I think the mask relic goes with the overall design of the monster, because there are 2 faces and she works in a circus, so people in circus usually have to put on masks of sorts, so I think it goes with the overall dynamic of this monster. But in terms of usability, I don't find masks to be that appealing. Then as for the books, we have the Female, the Underworld, and the Evolutions, all 3 phenomenal and very competitive books right now. So yeah, she is an amazing addition to each and every one of them. So for the basic attack, she has Horror Twins, deals mortal thunder damage to one enemy, applies shock to one enemy, nothing too great about that. So quickly moving on, then she has Stuck in the Freak Tent, deals low thunder damage to all enemies, requires cooldown. Again, nothing too special. Moving on, for tier 1, she has Built to Astonish, that deals mortal thunder damage to one enemy, applies guard down and daze to one enemy. Again, nothing too great about that. Tier 1 and tier 2, tier 1 and the basic attacks aren't that great, so I'm quickly going over them so that at least you know. Then she has Show Must Go On, which is dealing low special damage to one enemy and activating cooldowns on one enemy, requires cooldown. Now I kind of like this skill because it has a low stamina cost, number 1. Number 2, it is a single deny and activates cooldowns on one enemy, and I think that cooldown activation is one of the best forms of denial out there, simply because there are a lot of monsters with a high number of cooldowns, and cooldown activated can really shut them. So yeah, I kind of like this skill. Then we have tier 2. Tier 2 has the best show on earth, that removes positive status effects from one enemy, applies shock and daze to one enemy, requires cooldown. Now I'm kind of liking this best show on earth simply because it removes positive status effects. That means that this monster can take care of megataunt, evasion, etc. if you really want to take care of it, but you have to have a supportive monster or an attacker that can get rid of that monster before it has a chance to attack. So I kind of am on the fence with this skill. If this was a remove positive effects, gives one extra turn, or did something else to that monster, I would have preferred this move much more. Then we have Double Show, deals heavy thunder damage to one enemy, activates all cooldowns, and applies mega possession to one enemy, requires cooldown. Now this is basically an improved version of the Show Must Go On, and I kind of really like this because on top of cooldowns activated, it is applying mega possession. So even if the enemy does not have high cooldown skills, the mega possession will be denying that enemy monster for at least 2 turns. Then we have tier 3 skills. It's Showtime anytime, deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies shock and guard down to all enemies, requires cooldown. Now before the skill sheet was released and the trait was released, I was kind of hoping that this monster had a status caster area shock so that I wouldn't have to run the skill, but yeah, this also has an added application of guard down, and considering that this monster also has a status caster self precision at rank 3, I think this is a phenomenal move to have because it applies shock that prevents any and every extra turns, and there are a lot of effective monsters that rely on extra turns. That the number one example that comes to mind is Nor, that previous race monster, and obviously Nightingale. So I'm really liking this monster so far. Then we have the Spectacle Star, deals more thunder damage to all enemies, activates all cooldowns on all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies, requires cooldown. Now this is the star of the show in my opinion, and this move is phenomenal because it activates all cooldowns on all enemies and applies bleeding as well as dealing thunder damage. As you know, mythic monsters have a very high power stat, and this move might be able to deal some significant amount of damage to monsters in the legendary category, so I'm pretty happy that it deals more thunder damage as well. So basically this is a 30 damage AoE, and I really like that. As for the previous move as well, it's Showtime anytime, it also deals 35 damage as an AoE, so I'm pretty much sure those legendaries can be wiped out if these two are run in combination with your attacker, so those legendary monsters can be kissed bye-bye. But focusing on the Spectacle Starts, this is a phenomenal move. Activating all cooldowns on all enemies will be denying the enemy monsters for at least 1 turn, and if they have high cooldown like most monsters have, so yeah, that will be a phenomenal deny to have in my opinion. Definitely get this monster to as much of a high rank as you can, especially at rank 1. That's when this monster will shine, and obviously if you get this monster at a higher rank, that will give it precision as well, so that will be very interesting to have, and this monster can't be blinded, so that will be very good as well. And that will basically, the precision will also protect this monster from effects like sunburn and daze, which reduce accuracy, so I'm pretty happy about that too. Then we have the ultimate, which is a big applause, applies mega possession to all enemies, applies all cooldowns on all enemies. Now this is the ultimate that I am looking for in each and every monster, or something that can completely annihilate the enemy team, and I'm pleased to say that this ticks all the boxes. So yeah, for the moves that I would recommend right now are obviously both of the tier 3 skills, that is, it's Showtime anytime and obviously Spectacle Starts. I kind of like the Best Show on Earth simply because it removes positive status effects, and that is becoming a crucial skill to have, especially when so many monsters have Megaton, when so many monsters have evasion, etc. This is a crucial skill to have, and if you don't have a monster on your team that can do this, definitely have a positive effect removal. Then as for the 4th move, I would suggest running Double Show because it deals heavy thunder damage to one enemy, activates all cooldowns on one enemy, and applies mega possession as well, so that is a phenomenal move to have as well. So yeah, that basically concludes my analysis on Siamiss. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like and consider subscribing. That is the end of the video, so good luck on getting this monster, and good luck for the Freak Show Marathon. Hope you're in a good team, and if you're looking for teams like many of my subscribers are, mention in the comments down below that you're looking for a team. Maybe someone will find you. Also, a great resource for team recruitment is Discord. So if you're looking for members, if you're looking for a good team, just go to Discord and check out the recruitment page. There are a lot of people looking for people to race with in the marathon, so yeah. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace out.